Good morning or good evening to wherever this finds you. Welcome to the Fun Hog Pod with your hosts, Matt Cook and Butch Mayhew. Let's let that fun ensue. Welcome, Matt. It's good to see your face.
Man, it is great to be with you tonight, Butch. I'm super excited for tonight's episode. It's going to be a blast.
It's good to hear your voice as well for those that are voice only. And we're glad you're joining us on this fine evening or morning or day, wherever this finds you. We're glad to be here.
Indeed. We're also, for those of you who have been listening for a while, we've hopefully addressed our lag issues. I have a 100-foot Ethernet cable wiring me into my router. We've made a lot of tweaks. Butch and I are both pretty nerdy technical guys, so we feel like we've done our homework, and hopefully this episode will be presented lag-free.
We'll see. If we start talking over each other, we'll realize we haven't fixed anything. So, hoping for the best. Well, Matt, this week, do you have a fun hog moment?
I do, and in a fun twist, it actually is a butter story that I didn't share last time on the podcast. So my fun hog moment, absolutely, my sister came to town. So she lives up in Virginia. She's 5.5 years older than me, so she's my big sis. She's the best big sis in the world. I have truly almost no memories of like us fighting or anything. I mean, she was very much like a caretaker, and she's just the best big sis in the world. So love her to death. It was super fun for her to be here. She's got 3 kids, so she's we're not able to like necessarily get away just to spend time with each other. Oftentimes it's to see our parents, which is that's fun too. But it was so much fun. One of the butter stories, though, that she reminded me of, I can't believe I didn't think of this on the podcast because it's such an unusual thing. As a kid, my peanut butter and jelly had butter on it because peanut butter ain't enough butter. So, yeah, growing up, I ate peanut butter, and jelly. So the butter was typically under the jelly layer, so
right.
you kind of had jelly in between the peanut butter and butter, but that's pretty fun.
Peanut butter, and jelly sandwich.
Yeah,
I love it.
That's special. So
I have a question, and since we touched on butter, and we haven't quite left the butter. We haven't started our new word. I did some research. And I can't believe it's not butter. It's not butter. You know this, right? Have you accepted this?
Accepted is a strong word. I wouldn't go quite that bold, but I believe there's solid evidence for that claim, that supporting your claim.
All right. I'm glad you've at least acknowledged it. Yes.
I put it up there with like flat Earth, like it's probably Earth is probably not flat, but not quite ready to rule it out entirely.
All right. I'm glad we made a little bit of progress. Awesome.
How about you, Butch? Fun hog moment?
I've had a lot of fun hug moments over the past 2 weeks. We took a week break, so we're going to have a new little schedule here. Or at least we're going to try things out.
Feeling it out.
So I've got to pick one. So the one I'm going to pick is last week. One of the reasons we actually delayed the release was because of Vacation Bible School we had at our church. So we had Vacation Bible School at between 6 p.m. and 8 p.m. So more volunteers are available, and they don't have to take off work, which I think is a great thing. But my kids enjoy, like my older kids volunteer. My younger kids just love it to death. And this year I got to play a 1920s detective.
Ooh.
So I was a sleuth gumshoe for the 5 days or so, and it was a great time. just making kids smile and having fun and attempting to act. I mean, I acted pretty good, but also I was allowed to have my script in my hand. So that was very helpful. But I could emphasize things, but not having to memorize words was a big plus, and made a fool of myself, but had a lot of fun.
What was the character's name again?
It is Sleuth E. Gumshoe.
Sleuth E. Gumshoe. Would you say you were the best Sleuth E. Gumshoe there's ever been?
I'm not a very prideful person.
Well, you'd throw your name in the hat.
But, 99% certain that I would definitely throw my name in the hat. I had a lot of fun doing it, and I didn't have a trench coat, which is one of the things that they encourage you to do, but I went full-on suspender glasses, and I had the nice Sherlock Holmes cap. So I felt like I played the part well and had a lot of fun doing it, and made a lot of kids smile. That was the goal. So
love it, man. The nighttime VBS is. I think that's catching on. I've never. We always had it at, or whatever, 9 to 12 kind of deal. But nighttime's catching on. So that's neat to. Are there any downsides to the nighttime?
It's shorter, which maybe is a downside, maybe it's not, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, we had like 4 sessions, and those kind of like 25-minute stations that we just rotated through. Overall, I think it was great. It was great for me to be a part, and we were able to get the kids in bed by 9 o'clock, which was pretty reasonable. So,
yeah, I dig it. When another prior episode I wanted to comment on was Ticket. So, I mean, maybe we can even play back the footage, but if we go back to that Ticket episode, one of the concepts that we were talking about in there was the Kentucky Derby. So we watched the Kentucky Derby this weekend. This was the 150th running of the Kentucky Derby. I didn't know that until I turned it on. We really like the Kentucky Derby in my house. It's it only takes 2 minutes to watch, and so you really need to know what time it starts, because if you miss it, you miss it. But this was an incredible race. So there were 3 horses. I mean, it was a photo finish. It was like, we are so accustomed to review now in college football and NBA and kind of all the big mainstream sports, but in horse racing, when was the last time you said, like, hey, we really need to, like, go look at the camera again? Like, there's almost always just one horse who obviously wins. Occasionally there's like an interesting disqualification or something like that. But I mean, this year it was a true photo finish, and they even showed, like, there was this guy who was responsible for taking the picture, and you could really see him, like, kind of really stressing out about it and, like, figuring it all out. But yeah, so it was the 150th running, and surely when they did it 150 years ago, they weren't thinking, I bet that 150 years from now, people are going to have lasers and podcasts and be talking about the Kentucky Derby, right? And, I had said, hey, that was a bucket list item. My family really loves it. Well, recently it was my anniversary, and so I was researching actually getting Kentucky Derby tickets and going up there next year. I'm a big fan of just review sites in general. I can't remember which one of the little travel TripAdvisor probably.
TripAdvisor's the popular one.
But the Kentucky Derby reviews are pretty bad. And yeah, I think there's an infield experience which can be incredibly muddy, and you're just dealing with a kind of a raucous crowd, and that wasn't the vibe I was going for with my wife.
No fancy hats?
Right. I mean, they have some fancy hats, but, just a really rowdy, think like the infield of a NASCAR event.
Yeah.
Pretty similar, which I've had the pleasure of.
Bring out the RVs.
Yeah. Not exactly something you take your wife to for an anniversary experience. But then to sit in the grandstands, there were definitely some nice reviews there, but they're very expensive. And most of the time you're not covered at all. So you're sitting out there baking, and most of the seats can't see the horses.
What?
According to that thing, it's like, man, that does not feel like the experience I would like to invest in. So I did not pull the trigger on that, but I truly had the idea on that podcast episode. I was close to pulling the trigger, but at least thus far I have not.
You just got to go find like a cheaper horse race.
So
right?
there's one the day before, actually. I think it's like the Oaks or something like that. But that's what a lot of people say is like get the cheapest ticket to the Kentucky Derby, because there's so many people there. I think it's like 150,000 if I remember correctly. So the cheap seats might only be $15 or something to get in the infield. Of course, you're in a crazy crowd. But the day before, you can get a nice seat for maybe, I don't know, $200 or something. Not expensive, but not crazy. Versus like that same seat on Kentucky Derby Day is $10,000.
$10,000. What?
Yeah.
That's not worth.
So I appreciate the fine people at TripAdvisor. What a great site. They just knowing about experiences is everything, right? So I actually go way back to my honeymoon. We went to Jamaica, and I read the TripAdvisors, and the big critique was the bus ride from the airport to the venue. It was like 2 hours along, so this kind of gnarly road, which just knowing about it transformed the experience, right? Like if you got off the plane and you thought you were going to be on the beach in 2 minutes, then yeah, that's really disappointing. But if you know about it, hey, and after we get there, we're going to have to ride a bus. It's going to be a little bit bumpy. We were prepared, and it was great. So I'm sorry that one person was so disappointed by the bus ride, but they made my trip incredibly memorable because I had proper expectations. So thank you, Jamaican traveler, circa 2007.
That's great. I mean, expectations are a part of it, right? If you have the right expectation set, you can turn a potentially bad experience to a good experience, or maybe even a great experience.
Very wisely spoken. It's just like, a mentor once told me, New Year's Eve, like nobody ever has a good New Year's Eve because you expect New Year's Eve to just be this incredible evening. It's that random Tuesday in the summer where you don't think you have any plans, but you have some good family friends come over and you play Yahtzee all night or whatever. And just everybody has a good time. Everybody's in a good mood because the expectation was low. The bar to cross that is so much lower.
Love it. So, don't go party on New Year's Eve. Or if you do, just set your expectations really, really low. And it'll be great.
There you go.
All right. Well, let's talk about the word of the week. What do we got?
Bacon.
Bacon. Man, I love bacon. I love bacon. That's it. I love it. I love it. I love it. I first learned of my love for bacon in high school. I knew about it. Yeah, I had some bacon as a young, wee little lad, but I didn't really start enjoying bacon a lot until high school and then college and later. Even though it's not the most fun thing to cook, it is a really yummy thing to consume.
That's the truth. Yeah, it's probably the highest delta between the cooking experience of it. Like most tasty foods are pretty fun to cook. Hamburgers are fun to cook. Bacon is not fun to cook, but man, it is delicious. So, I know, connoisseurs of some cuisines might be described as bougie, or, I think about, coffee drinkers, right? So, if they, they drink their fancy pour-overs and whatnot. And
We're talking about Brian Davis?
We're talking about Brian Davis. But, you can't enjoy McDonald's cup of coffee or a gas station cup of coffee. Would you say you are just an equal opportunity bacon guy, or is there nuance to your bacon consumption?
Equal opportunity, man. If there's bacon that's made, if it's floppy, if it's crispy, if it's burnt, I'll give it a go. Like I'm gonna consume it, or at least attempt to consume it. Yeah, I've had some too floppy bacon where it's just like chewing gum, and it's
Yeah.
like, well, this is not happening. I'll enjoy the flavor maybe a little bit, but it's not going down. But when it comes to it, I'm just there. I'm there for bacon, whether it's cooked well or not cooked well, or too much fat or not enough fat. I'm pro all bacon.
So you're pro all bacon, but if
Except
we're
for Canadian bacon. Let's talk about this. Canadian bacon is not bacon, okay? The stuff that people call bacon, that's ham. That's ham. It's not bacon.
is,
All right, I'm done.
Is that accurate? Is that like I can't believe it's not butter? Is that in the same vein here? Canadian bacon is a fraud, similar.
I mean, it comes from the same animal. I can't believe it's not butter. Not quite the same. So I would not consider those the same. But if you want to, tell yourself that, that's fine. Let you sleep better.
Which is more real, Canadian bacon or I can't believe it's not butter? Which one's closer to what it's claiming to be?
That's not a fair question. It's going against what I'm going here for. I'm trying to rag you. I would say, I'll give you the benefit on that one. I can't believe it's not butter. It tastes like butter. Yeah. It's not butter, but it's closer.
It looks like butter. It walks like a duck and it talks like a duck. Probably a duck.
Melts like butter, spreads like butter. All the things. But I would say when it comes to Canadian bacon, right? It's a tragedy. Like, do not call that bacon. Do not call that bacon. Just call it a ham. What it is.
I thought you were going to go with disappointment there, but tragedy, a little strong. Tell me more. Why is that a tragedy?
It's ham. That's all. That's all.
Is it an imposter, would you say? Or
it's trying to be bacon. That's probably the problem. Yeah, it's an imposter. It's trying too hard. It's trying to be bacon, and it's not. So just get over yourself, call yourself ham, and everything's good, right?
I dig it.
I will say, when I think about Canadian bacon, even though it's not bacon, it does make me think of pizza, because a big thing is Canadian bacon and pineapple. Let us know. Does pineapple belong on pizza? I don't know. You let us know. Email us.
I've had a lot of good pizzas with pineapple on them. Just for all these purists who say you can't put pineapple on pizza. It tastes pretty good.
Yeah. If you disagree with Matt, email us howdy at funhog.com. We'd love to hear about your preference for pineapples when it comes to pizza. But I will say the number one topping on pizza is bacon. Period. Not pepperoni. It's not cheese. You need cheese.
That's
got to be like the pad. Yeah. That's like sleeping on a bed without a mattress.
Yeah, cheese is fundamental. You're not skipping cheese.
But you sprinkle some bacon in the cheese, on top of the cheese. That's the only meat you need. It can be a few sprinkles, or it can be big handfuls of sprinkles. 100%.
I don't think you're on solid ground here. I think bacon is the ultimate complementary piece on a pizza. It goes with, hey, you have sausage and bacon. It's the ultimate enhancement. But cheese and bacon...
and sauce and bread. That's all you need.
Feels like a weak pizza.
Have you ever had an only bacon pizza with extra bacon?
I definitely have not.
All right, that's your problem. That's everybody's problem that disagrees with me. You've just never tried it. You go try it. Go order you a Domino's right now. Get it delivered. It'll be great.
That would have been a great plug for this episode. Just we're both sitting here eating a bacon pizza.
Missed opportunity. Maybe next one.
Maybe next one. Yeah. All right. So we're breaking down bacon here. You said you'll eat any type of bacon. A little too fatty, a little too crispy. raw bacon? You don't eat
No,
raw
not
bacon.
raw.
Okay.
Not raw. Yeah,
Okay,
I don't want to be sick at night.
Okay. Got it. So we're not eating raw bacon. But what's your preferred? So hey, this is your last meal on Earth. Obviously, there's going to be bacon at that meal. But what you get to pick? What type of bacon you having?
I mean, it doesn't have to be the fancy, $20 package for a pound. It doesn't have to be that.
What's that like? Pepper cracked maple bacon, or what's?
I mean, there's more. There's some that are more expensive than that, and it doesn't even have to be homemade. I mean, it can be anything that's the thick slices, and it's cooked well. And I have two preferred cooking methods.
Okay.
One is the way my dad does it. He does it low and slow. Again,
Like he's busting out the smoker for some bacon.
he's not busting out the smoker yet, but he will get the big skillet. He'll drop, 2, maybe 3 bacons on it. Big, thick ones. They're going to be on the whole pan. Get them all flat. Pop it on, 2. I'm talking like 2 out of 10 on your skillet, and low and slow. That's what he says. It's a 25-minute deal. As soon as that bacon starts sizzling, he pops it down to 1 and lets it cook. And I'll tell you, you put that, you just eat that by itself or on a burger. It is fantastic. It's crispy. It keeps its like flatness and a shape. And it's been marinating in its own fat juices.
That's one of the most amazing things about bacon, right? Like what other food? Like it brings all of its additives to the party, right? Like you don't need to put some butter in it, grease it up. You literally just put bacon in there, and it just takes care of itself.
It doesn't need anything else.
It is the batteries included food. Yeah. That's interesting. So, yeah, low and slow on bacon. So that was one. What was the other one?
That was one. The other one is the way I typically make bacon, and we have pretty large. It's not like the $4 baking sheets at Walmart that are real flimsy. We've got some like real big, nice size ones.
Like we talking like 16 by 20 here?
Probably. That's probably right.
16 by 20?
They're pretty big. They'll fit in the oven, but you can't fit 2 in the oven at the same time. And so I'll get that, and I'll get it's a baking resting, a cookie. It's not like a cookie sheet, but it's kind of like what you take cookies out of the oven, you put them on to cool.
Yeah.
So I've got one of those I put over that.
So is it elevated or is it just a sheet?
Oh, it's elevated, and it's just got like little grids.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like centimeter holes. And I will just take the bacon, put that on there, turn on the oven on 400 or 425, depending on how I'm feeling, how fast we need to go, and pop that in and let it roll. 20 to 25 minutes, I can cook a whole pack. And I found that, like, when laying out the bacon, if you want it to have a certain shape, like let's say you want the little waves in it, you can actually pinch the bacon and make those waves, and with it cooking this way, it'll hold that shape, and it's great, and it all fits when you do that. So big fan of that. That's my preferred quick go-to way of cooking up some bacon.
Yeah, I thought there was a 1% chance maybe you didn't cook your bacon in the oven. I thought there was a 1%.
I used to not. It used to be we had the circle tray that had the little lines in it. The stuff you buy on as seen on TV.
Yeah, that's microwave.
Yep.
Yeah.
That was the way
for a
in
long
the olden
time.
days.
Yeah, microwave skillet. I agree. I think oven is it's a fantastic way, relatively easy cleanup. We talked about bacon's a difficult to cook food most of the time. I thought there was a 1% chance. So I was really, in preparation for this episode, I was trying to think, what can I bring to the table? Because I know Butch is going to bring a lot of bacon energy. So I was trying to think, man, what could I share with Butch that would be new about the bacon universe? And I thought there was a 1% chance that you didn't cook bacon in the oven. I was like, yeah, that seems like something he's at least aware of. But I was reflecting on so every year I go camping with it was the group of friends that we really bonded kind of in those early marriage years in Charleston, South Carolina. And so that group, we tend to go to Edisto, South Carolina, a little island there just south of Charleston. And there, I mean, it's great camping. Obviously, we have bacon. I mean, are you even like you have your tent and then you have your bacon, and that's what, camping, how that works. But a couple of years ago, we discovered the bacon strudel. Now, so this is you get an iron skillet, best done over a campfire. It can be done just over home cooked, but it's gonna make your house probably smell for quite some time.
Or really good.
Yeah, really good, but it will smell for some time. But you get some toaster strudels, and so you just cook bacon. Obviously, like you said, and you just throw bacon in there. Get your bacon, man. Your mouth's just already salivating, and then in the bacon grease, you cook a toaster strudel.
Like you just throw it in frozen, or are these all thawed out already?
Yeah, no, they're frozen because I mean you got to buy them from the grocery store. I mean they've been sitting in the cooler overnight, but
Gotcha.
So they're not like deep freezer frozen. But yeah, you just put them in that bacon grease. It's a delicacy. I only get to eat it once a year because it's a heart attack waiting to happen if you tried to eat it twice a year. But have you ever had a bacon strudel?
I have not. That sounds amazing.
You got to try that.
Yeah, we gotta serve bacon strudels, when we have a picnic, when we have our Fun Hog picnic.
Yeah.
I don't know if you remember that. We put that one in the dream drawer around episode 2.
I'd kind of forgotten about that. Remind me.
Well, we talked about getting together and having a Fun Hog gathering of people with games. I think of that as a picnic.
Yeah.
Where we just get all our people together. That's 2 or 3 years down the road, but it's the future.
Yeah.
We're going to serve bacon strudels.
That feels kind of far down the road. I mean, I think 1 year, if this podcast goes for an entire year, I think we should celebrate with the Fun Hog Feast.
Fun Hog Feast. Yeah.
Bacon strudels for everyone.
Bang biscuit.
Bang biscuit. Yeah, we try to make as many references as we possibly can. That'll be so much fun. Bacon strudels. All right. I have a few more questions for you. What is the biggest bacon mess you've ever made? Bacon's pretty tricky to cook.
I don't know if I've ever made too big of a mess. I mean, I've definitely had grease go where it's not supposed to, like all over the floor.
Yeah,
but
that's I thought you were going to say microwave, which is
I've had it in the microwave too.
Yeah.
But it gets all slippery and you clean it up. But typically, we're trying to funnel the grease into something that can harden and then throw it in the trash can. That's the typical way we try to do things. But it doesn't always happen. Especially in my earlier days when I was less careful.
Before I was a homeowner, whatever, put it straight down the sink. Yeah, we do we tend to cool it in. Grab a small dish in a bowl like thing, and put aluminum foil in it, and then put the bacon grease in that. Is that how you do it?
Yeah. Oh, 100%. Yeah. We've got this nice flour bowl. It has like flower petals on the outside, and it just
perfect.
If you miss, it just kind of rolls right in. It's great.
Yeah.
But that's good stuff. I'll do that, or if I'm, on the baking sheet, sometimes I'll just leave that baking sheet there for 2 or 3 hours, and because all the grease is kind of like thinned out, it doesn't take as long to harden over. But there was at one point where I tried to save bacon grease, because I'm like, I'm going to cook with that. That's going to be great. But I ended up like filling up a whole bottle and like never using it. So it was like, my wife was like, why do we have this in here? I'm like, it's bacon grease. Let's keep it. And we eventually threw it away. But yeah, never cooked with old bacon grease, even though that's a thing here in the South.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
There's a restaurant down so Beale Street is the main drive through Memphis. like the oldest street in downtown, right? So it's where all the restaurants and bars are. But there's one down there, and their claim to fame, I kid you not, is that it's a hamburger joint, and they still have the same grease. It's like that is a bug, not a feature, my friends.
Yeah, that's an interesting one.
Yeah.
I mean, it's definitely got some flavor, a unique flavor, I'm sure.
I did eat there one time, but it just felt like a pretty greasy burger, honestly. So.
Well, let me show you off some of my bacon stuff.
Oh, you got bacon swag?
Yeah, I'm going to describe it for people that can't see. So first up, this is something I was actually really proud of. Probably about 10 years ago, I found this bacon wallet. It's a wallet that looks like raw bacon on the outside. And this is actually my backup because I did have this when I was actually at Daxco. I don't know if you remember seeing this, but I bought another one because I'm like, hey, I want another bacon wallet. I'm not sure how long these are going to be in stores, so let me just get a backup. And since then, at some point in that time, I moved my wallet from my back right pocket to my front right pocket. I don't know if you're a front pocket or back pocket type of wallet guy, but I am 100% sold on front pocket, no matter what.
I just recently moved to the front pocket. So
Welcome to the team.
I'm on the team with Team Apple Wallet. So this little guy, it was tough to consolidate down to 3 cards, but so I got a driver's license and 2 credit cards. But that moved it to the back of my phone and into the front pocket.
Congratulations. Well, I was actually using a big wallet in my front pocket for a while, and then I was like, hey, I've got to trim things down. So I actually have like a hard case that it's like 5 cards. You just click it and it pops up. Probably similar, but it doesn't connect to my phone. And it does block out that RFID magic, so hopefully nobody steals my stuff. Trying to be super secure in my...
Are you worried about that?
I'm worried enough to put it in a wallet. I'm not worried when I pull out my card to go make a payment. I'm not that worried. But yeah, I think about those things. I don't want somebody bumping up against me, stealing my credit card stuff with a Flipper Zero that's like sitting in their pocket. You know what that is?
I don't.
Oh yeah. Go read that and see how easy it is to go do that, and maybe you'll be a little more concerned.
Got it. Does your bacon wallet have RFID protection?
It does not. This is old school, and I do think this is just a commodity now. Like it'll stay in the drawer. Maybe I'll put some dollar bills in here or something when I have dollar bills. But this is the bacon wallet. I got some other stuff. I've got Mr. Bacon. This is just a bacon plastic bacon guy that has like metal arms that can move, and he can like stand up. He's just like a little desk toy.
Kind of looks like Gumby for our
he's
listeners.
like a Gumby, yeah, except he's a little more angry.
Yeah, he does have a curious face on him. And just can't quite tell what expression that is.
It's kind of like ha ha ha. I'm evil, but I also have jazz hands. So. Yeah, if you're not on the video, go check out the YouTube. You'll go check it out there. I've also got this. This was a gift from some folks at Club Automation.
A bacon candle.
A bacon scented candle. So props to the team that I let out at Club Automation for this wonderful gift. I appreciate it. It sits on my desk. I have lit it, but candles don't do well here in the basement. There's not a lot of ventilation, so you got to really commit to wanting any kind of scent if you're gonna burn anything down
when
here.
You say they don't do well, I don't understand what you mean.
I don't. It's a candle. It's scented, and
it's too strong.
It's too strong for the area I'm in. I'll just say that. So, but I do keep it here every once in a while. Just pop it open. Smell
so give it a whiff.
I mean, it smells like smoked bacon.
You're not burning it. You're just
exactly
taking a smell.
And I leave it over here to remind me of that wonderful team that I worked with. All right, on to the next things. I got some more things. These are T-shirts because I'm a big T-shirt guy. This is probably my favorite Daxco T-shirt.
Data. Oh, yeah, I remember that one.
Data is the new bacon. I'm pretty sure this was Mariel Moore. I'm pretty sure designed this one. If you're out there in the world, thank you. And this was a very special shirt because not everyone got this shirt. I had to like beg people, but I'm glad I got that shirt. I've also got this shirt. This is probably one of my favorite bacon shirts. Rub some bacon on it. This is from Rhett and Link. They've got a song called "Rub Some Bacon on It" that is worth your 5 minutes of time. And then this one. This is a good. I like shirts that mix things up with like things that I love or things I like. Come to the dark side. We have bacon. It's Darth Vader holding bacon, imploring you to come join the dark side.
You think when George Lucas was writing Episode 4, he envisioned Darth Vader holding bacon on a T-shirt?
Yeah, no way, no way that happened. All right, last thing, and this goes to this is a shout out to my kiddos, So, we like to get our kids stuffed animals. We have way too many, but we have stuffed animals. I've got 2 here. I've actually got 3. This is what my daughter said had to make it on the podcast. I've got one that is a turkey. Looks like he came right out of Thanksgiving. I've got this dog that has like face paint on it. What do you call that?
Unicornish features, I would say.
Yeah, unicornish, or it's kind of like Day of the Dead type, colors and features. And then I've got this red panda. This is just somewhat random, but this turkey, his name is Bacon. My youngest named her turkey Bacon, and I'm like, I wasn't sure why, but she named it that, and that's what it's been. And she said, because I asked her, I was like, can I have bacon tonight? And she's like, yes, but you have to take Shiloh as well. And I'm like, what do you mean? And she's like, Shiloh and bacon are in love.
They go together.
And if they're not together, then she starts yelling, Shiloh, bacon. They're not together. So, she sleeps with them together. If they're out of the bed and in the closet, they're together. But this is Shiloh and Bacon. Bacon the turkey. So,
Bacon the turkey. Man, that's deep.
There's some Mayhew stuffed animal lore that's coming out.
Yeah.
And this is just red panda. Baby red panda. That has nothing to do with bacon, but it's here. Promise fulfilled. You're welcome, Leah.
There you go. I love it. So we talked earlier about how bacon is self-sufficient. It may be the most self-sufficient food there is. But occasionally you do find bacon with something else on. I think about like pepper bacon, maybe some maple syrup and bacon. What's your go-to bake? If it's a bacon plus one event, what's your plus one? Pizza?
Oh, can I give 2 answers?
Sure.
One sweet, one savory. Savory?
You're a co-founder on this podcast, so you can do that.
Shrimp.
Shrimp?
Shrimp and bacon. Shrimp and bacon.
That's amazing. Yeah. My brother-in-law has a bacon wrapped shrimp recipe with it's a teriyaki marinade. Boy, I mean it's a family tradition. We have it. We tend to have it with an appetizer for a big occasion. We'll have a beef tenderloin, and it's the appetizer. And we've never ever had any go uneaten.
Leftovers.
And, there's like in times we've had crazy amounts. Just like. But
it sounds like that needs to be the real meal, and make this beef tenderloin the appetizer. Let's go ahead and swap that up.
I know that I personally have at least put down 10. These are like the big shrimp.
Jumbo.
These aren't the little babies. So I know I've at least put down 10 before. So that's a pretty quality meal before we're even getting into the entrees. So
Wonderful. For sweet, I am a big fan of. I could go semi-sweet or milk chocolate, either one, or dark. Any kind of chocolate.
Chocolate and bacon.
With salty bacon. Oh, buddy.
I don't know that I've done that.
Oh, buddy.
Is that a standard thing? I mean, I'm open to it. Just
it's a thing. It's a thing.
Do you just put them in your mouth together, or do you combine them before?
Yeah, you want to dip the bacon on some like melted chocolate. Yeah, so you got a nice little coat, and it doesn't have to be like fully. You could just brush some on with a brush or drizzle some. You know, there's a lot of different ways to do it, but it's fantastic. If you have your bacon nice and salted, and you get that sweet in there, oh man, it's something else.
Something else.
It can't be the floppy bacon. It's got to be the crispy.
Yeah.
You know, you got to be able to hold it up and it like stand out like a ruler. You know, it's not gonna flop over on you.
I dig it.
How about you?
My bacon additive?
Yeah, outside of your, I mean, we know about the shrimp and the teriyaki.
You really reminded me of that one. That's the go-to right there. So I don't have a sweet that I can think of. I mean, maybe like some sugar on bacon. I mean, sugar goes with most things pretty
Maple
well.
syrup?
Yeah.
Just swash it around in there near your pancakes.
What about like a bacon spoon? Is that a thing where you just have, a bacon spoon, you just eat it, whatever you're eating for breakfast?
It should be a thing.
Yeah.
I don't know. We should go research that or invent it.
We haven't talked about bacon and eggs yet. I mean, I feel like we're leaving eggs out, but I'll eat bacon and eggs. I mean, I love any kind of bacon, egg, and cheese. I'm game for it.
Oh, yeah. Here's the final shirt. So it reads exercise, then it reads exercise, then it reads exercise, then it reads eggs are sides for bacon.
I guess we'll get to our 5K update in a minute here.
I'm going to disappoint you really bad on that one, but we can talk about it.
Oh, man. That's rich. All right, before we move off bacon, a fun segment I came up with is Butch versus ChatGPT. So we've got a bacon question that I posed to ChatGPT. I'm going to dig up the exact prompt here.
All right.
Just so that way it's a fair contest, right? Because we don't want our AI overlords to, yeah. All right. Here's
before we start, which model are we working off of?
We're ChatGPT 4.0.
All right.
So
I'm ready.
Yeah. All right. Come up with an acrostic for bacon.
Ooh. This is going to be not super easy. Let's see. B would be for... brown. A is for almighty. C is for cherished. O is for what's O gonna be for? O's gonna be for amazing. N is gonna be for necessary.
Necessary. Okay. Boy, it's close. It's close here. So, I'm going to put you up against. So the first time ChatGPT came up with 2-word answers, which is
That's cheating.
That's an acrostic faux pas. So I reprompted with only 1 word for each letter, and here's what it came up with. B is for bold.
I could get behind that.
Yeah, it's like, all right, so we got bold versus brown. I'm going to give ChatGPT a point on that one. A, you came up with almighty. That's fun. ChatGPT came up with aromatic.
What does that even mean?
That means it smells good.
Does it? I've never heard that word.
Aromatic. Yeah.
It sounds like, air can flow through it easily.
It's like aroma.
Aromatic is a corporation. I need the definition. An organic compound characterized by increased chemical
Did you
stability.
spell it correctly? Aromatic.
Yes. Of an organic compound characterized by increased chemical stability resulting from the delocation of electrons in a ring system.
All right, you're winning me over.
Oh, that's aromatic. Sorry, not aromatic.
All right,
I don't think aromatic exists.
let's see here. Surely that's aroma, right?
Aromatic.
Having a pleasant and distinctive smell.
You said aromatic.
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 Yeah, that's how you say it.
Arome. Not air.
I'm
Is
giving
it
Chad-
A-I-R?
No, ARO.
Yeah. Arome. Not arrow. Aromatic?
It's like aroma.
I know. That's not what you said, though. Okay, keep
Okay.
going. Keep going. You said aromatic. Like air. It's air automatically in the
How
air.
do you say it? Aromatic? What?
It's aromatic. Not arrow. Just wait. Sergey is going to listen to this. He'll correct our English. He's better at English than us.
Okay. All right, ChatGPT's up 2-0 right
What?
now.
You're not going to give me Almighty?
No, I'm not giving you all my.
Okay.
And it's getting worse here. So you had cherished, which again, that's a good word. Crispy. I mean,
Not all bacon's crispy, though. And I'm okay with that.
yeah. ChatGPT took the easy path there.
Hey, man. So when I think about non-crispy bacon, I think about I'm at the Hampton Inn. I go downstairs. You got some of those like eggs made from the cartons that they shook up in the back, and they got a bunch of floppy bacon. I'm eating that bacon. It's got the flavor. It's not the best bacon, but I'm eating it.
I agree you're eating it, but crispy is
It's preferred. It is preferred. All right, I'll give you that.
That's a
All right.
premium quality of bacon. So
Fair.
ChatGPT's up 3-0 here. Oh, you gave me amazing. ChatGPT went with outstanding. I'm giving you a point for that one, Butch. I think you win the O. 3-1. And then N, you blew it away. Right? You came up with necessary, which is a bit of a stretch for most people, but it fits well for you, so I'll give it to you. It came up with nutritious. Which is,
That's minus 2 points.
I think that's it. That's -2. So ChatGPT final standings is Butch wins 2-1. Yeah. So after
I'll
it gave
take
me nutritious, I said, "Come on, nutritious. That's ridiculous. Give me a better word." It came up with savory.
It was
Hey.
going for bacons.
Yeah. Savory doesn't start with N, and then it came up with nurturing, which that's like. So I said, "Give me an N word that would be associated with bacon," and then it finally came through with nitrate rich.
It's wonderful. It's wonderful.
I mean, I just appreciate all those engineers out there who worked really hard on these large language models so that we could come up with interesting things like bacon acrostics.
All right. Well, we'll see you next time. Who wins?
Indeed.
On Butch versus ChatGPT.
Indeed. All right, we got some listener feedback since our last episode. Why don't you jump into those, Butch?
All right. This first one goes out to Mr. John. He writes in to howdy@funhog.com. Hi. I love your show. Y'all do such a great job of sharing your fun with us. Also, happy 10th episode. Party hat symbol. Excited to hear about bacon. Oink, oink. Thank you Mr. John for reaching out to us. Mr. John is someone that I actually know personally. He's been listening to some episodes, and he actually has a magazine, a digital magazine he puts out. It is Wacky Fun Magazine. You can find it at wackyfunmagazine.com. You can go check it out. It is, it's a magazine that's digital. He creates it himself. He's got a couple writers. I've actually contributed out there. So big shout out to him and what he's doing. And thank you for writing in. I'll get you a sticker out to you. So thank you for celebrating that.
Love it. Hope we talked enough about bacon for John, because he was looking forward to hearing our bacon thoughts. Feel like we delivered.
I hope so. We also got some other listener feedback through our Contact Us form on funhog.com. If you're too scared to email or you can't remember howdy@funhog.com, you can message us out there. But Mr. R. Hendrick let us know that you got to have some butter in both places. Some out for easy spread on bread for toast, and some in the fridge for cooking. Boom. So I agree. The more butter, the better. The more bacon, the better as well. Let's just go ahead and say it.
That's not even a hot take, right? It's just a standard best practice. Have butter in both places.
Yep, and bacon for that matter.
And bacon.
We'll add to it.
Does bacon have an expiration date? That's what I was thinking.
It does on the package, but it doesn't mean it has to be followed. I mean, those things are sealed, Now, you get a bacon pack that's like, it's not sealed. Like, there's some juice leaking out. Like, I would not eat it after the expiration. But, you're a week, 2 weeks after, and it's not turning brown, and pop that bad boy open and cook it up. Don't complain to us if you get food poisoning. Do this at your own risk.
This is not general nutrition advice.
Just because we're on bacon, what are your thoughts about the bacon that comes in the boxes? The pre-cooked bacon. Have you had this before?
Bacon that comes in boxes?
Yeah, you can buy boxes that have pre-cooked bacon. It's all small and shrunk.
Like bacon bits?
No, not like bacon bits. Like full strips of bacon that are already pre-cooked that you just heat up in the microwave.
Was completely unaware of these, but
yeah,
generally that doesn't sound like something I would purchase.
If you're in a pinch, it'll work.
Are we talking jerky here? I mean,
it's jerky-ish.
Yeah.
But it's not jerky. It's bacon in a box. I remember it in a yellow box. But you pay $5 and you get 8 or 10 strips, and they're pretty small strips. But in a pinch, they'll work.
For someone who's so critical of butter, and I can't believe it's not butter, you have awfully expansive views on what's acceptable for bacon.
This is true. I'll take that. Oh man!
All right, we got another segment to do, right? We've got, what game are you playing? What game are you playing right now?
Yep, it's our weekly what. So Matt, what game have you been playing lately?
We've been playing a game called Strat. Well, we call it Strat. It's some people call it GOPS, Game of Pure Strategy. Those are the only other names I know it by. But pretty simple card game. You generally play with 3 players. You can do it. You can add more decks, and it works just fine. But you take one suit and you put it in the middle. You shuffle it up. So take hearts, let's say, and then you've got clubs. I got spades, and so we flip over. Let's say the 7 of hearts flips over. You and I both bid on it, right? And so let's say I bid 6. You bid 8. Right. Well, so you win that 7. Right. So it's just a pure strategy game. It's all the information's available. You just know what to bid. But it's all about bidding versus your like who's at the table with you. So sometimes cards tend to go for kind of +4 of their face value. But sometimes you get into these complex multi-tiered strategies. So like the king comes out, let's say. So that's the most valuable card, and this ace is low. So king's worth 13. And you think, oh, let's say I have my king still, but you've already bid your king in something else. It's really interesting kind of what happens then. So it's like, okay, maybe I'll play my queen, but I think then you think, hey, you're going to lose it. And so I think you're probably going to get rid of your 2 or something. So then I try to get it with my 4, but you bid a 6. Yeah, it's an interesting little game, strat.
So when you bid, you have to play the card you bid?
Correct, yeah. So everybody reveals their bid at the same time.
Gotcha. And so you can't like bluff. This is not a bluffing game like Skull. This is like you just gotta read the room and try to bid the right amount. But once that bid is done, whoever has the highest gets that card.
Right.
And that card goes away, so you can't reuse it.
Correct, yeah. So everybody loses their bid. The card in the middle goes to whoever had the highest bid. One fun thing, though, is that if there's a tie, then it stays in the middle and the next card gets added to it. And so a very common thing is, like, let's say the king comes out. Typically, you see this in a 3-player game. Well, naturally, the appropriate bid, if you will, for a king is your king, right? Like, it's the most valuable card, so it has the most points. Well, if it's a 3-player game, I think, oh, well, those other 2 people will play their king, so I'll play a 2, and then you guys play kings, and so I'm saving my king for the next round. But then everybody's thinking that.
Yeah.
And so, you end up winning a king with a 6 or something very modest.
So you don't have to play the same suit. You just have to pick, the highest card value.
Yeah, so in your hand, you have all 13 cards of one suit. And
Gotcha.
It just is the easy way to kind of organize it. But
so is it only a 3-player game?
Yeah, you can do it if you add another deck. Then
Gotcha.
The suits don't really matter, other than it's just they're each a sequence of 1 to 13.
Gotcha. And how many points are there total?
In the game, there's 91.
13. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, 1 to 13. It ends up being 91.
Nice.
So yeah, in a 3-player game, you need 30 some odd. It just kind of depends on how it gets distributed. But yeah, it's a fun little game. I mean, I've gotten shut out playing with my kids. Like, it's amazing. You think, I'm trying to win. I probably won the first 10 times we played, just straight up. I was able to figure out things. But I have gotten completely shut out. Did not win a single point in a game. And you're just like, whoa, that's terrible. But it's a lot of fun. How about you? What games have you been playing?
Very nice. We're going very much something you can pick up at Target, which I guess yours you can pick up at Target or wherever.
Anywhere you got a card deck.
Monopoly Deal.
That's a fun one. Yeah.
So this is a 15 to 20 minute game. It's very fast. It's easy to play. There's a big card called Deal Breaker that really just changes the game if you have one and you play it at the right time. But it's a 15 to 20 minute game of Monopoly where you don't have to spend 3 hours plus people flipping the table because they're mad you won't sell them that property that they need so they can build hotels. So, but a lot of fun, real quick, pretty easy strategy to pick up. It is Fun Hog approved game.
It's really everything that Monopoly is not.
And I will say, I had some fun times playing Monopoly, like growing up, just as a kid. And my kids, they'll play Monopoly with themselves and pause the game and go run around outside and come back and keep it going. But I think in college, I probably had the most fun. I really dialed in on a strategy that helped me win more times than not. And it's a Googleable strategy now, but we didn't have the internet. I figured that thing out on my own from trial and error. But a lot of fun playing Monopoly with folks in college. There was some frustration.
I'm on Team Light Blue Properties, which is
Light Blue.
Yeah.
That's a joke, man.
What? No,
it's a joke. It's orange, 100%.
No.
Orange, and the dark purple. Not the dark purple, the lighter purple, like the State Avenue and those guys. But it's really everything between jail and free parking, gold mine.
No, see, you go
Gold mine.
light blues because those only cost $50 to put houses on. So it was only $450 to put
You
the
get
entire.
nothing. Somebody lands on that, you get nothing, man.
No, you get like
It's a
500
trap. It's a trap.
You can hit them. I'm gonna equate it to a StarCraft strategy. Man, we're going deep into our nerddom here. It's just like the Zerg rush strategy, right? Like the Protoss were stronger, but if you hit them quick enough with it, you could. Yeah, I mean, there was no beating a Zerg rush strategy. And I was always a rush guy, so.
That's fair. That's fair.
Man,
So watch out if you're playing with Matt. Do not sell him the light blues and Monopoly.
true. I think we can agree. Boardwalk, absolutely worthless.
That's a trap. That's a trap. It's not a trap in Monopoly Deal. It's definitely a trap in Monopoly.
Right. Is
Or
this
any
one-
of the other 1,000 Monopoly brands that they've created.
Yeah. Well done for them. There's a lot of different monopolies. Impressive. All right, what else we have? We got to spin that wheel.
All right. Well, quick on the challenge update. I have not run in a week and a half or 2 weeks since our last recording. So I'm just going to come out. I'm going to admit it. I'm going to own it. And it's at no fault but mine. And yeah, I'm going to commit to running four times before our next recording. That's
All
going to be
right.
my goal.
So we're recording in 2 weeks for our listeners. So
Yep. So that's 4 times and 14-ish days. I think I can handle that.
So here's my coaching challenge to you. Just when's your next run? That's the key. Don't worry about 4 times.
When's my next run?
Yeah.
It's going to be it'll be Friday.
Friday.
I'm gonna run on Friday.
All right, run on Friday.
All right. You got any tips for me? Just shoot for 2 miles? Is that what we're shooting for?
Whatever gets your next run in, right? Like don't just run and then run 4. You need to run 4 times. There you go.
There you go. All right. Pace myself. I got it.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Make sure you're running tomorrow. Or not literally tomorrow, but just keeping at it is better than
I hear you.
a big
All right.
accomplishment.
So we got the wheel here. The new word that we've added in place of bacon is frost. So, if it lands there, we know
I'm cheering
that,
for Razzle Dazzle. What is that?
oh, we got a lot.
We got
do
Doc.
do we need to look at some of these?
Doc, Silly Goose, Tire, Brunch,
Yep.
Glove. Yeah.
Yeah.
Action
Got it.
figure.
Yeah, well, we got a lot. We got a lot in here. All right, we're gonna go. You ready?
Oh, pickle, man. I got some pickle stories. Wow.
Here we go.
Glove.
Glove. All right, and something went flying off this thing. I think it was the little plastic thing that goes on here. So glove. There's a lot of glove things that we can do here. What's the first thing that comes to your mind when you hear glove?
If the glove don't fit, you must have quit.
Oh man. Yep. So we're gonna have fun. It's gonna be fun. I got one other thing, just with like listener feedback. Guess who I ran into at the store?
Oh,
this
can I
week?
actually submit a guess?
Submit a guess.
Submit a guess. You ran into Saranda West.
She's like 2 hours away from me, man.
That's what would have made it crazy. It would have been a good story.
I ran into Mr. Dandy himself, Troy Howard.
Oh, so fun.
So I got to see him hanging out at Mike's Merchandise. It's a store here that we have in Pelham that they just have different stuff, random stuff every week, and it's great. It's kind of like a Big Lots, but like less. I don't know. It's like a Big Lots, except not commercialized. If that
Yeah,
makes
it's
sense.
like a support your local.
Liquidation,
Yeah,
local liquidation.
your local
clear out.
liquidation leader,
Yeah, there it is.
Mike's
So,
Merch. Man,
Mike.
there's a lot of alliteration there.
Mike's Merchandise. So shout out to Troy. We appreciate you for bringing your dandy, and that was fun.
Got to make another appearance. Yeah.
100%. Also, if you've got if you've got any glove stories, please email us. howdy@funhog.com. We would love to hear about those or what you think about when you hear gloves. And if you've got any guests, Matt, that you think about, let me know. We can send out some invites. Should we just make like inviting guests an open thing here on the podcast?
I don't know what you mean by that.
Like, hello, listeners. If you've got a glove story, please email us. We would love for you to record with us and be a guest on our show.
Yeah, I think that would be fun. I thought you were saying we just like post a link and see who joins in. It's like, I don't know if that's going to work or not, but we could try it once.
We can also live stream this thing. We can tell people, hey, if you want to hear it live, you can join on at 9.
Dedicated. Yeah. I'll have to think about you've brought all the guests so far, so I feel like I'm due.
I know, man. I need you to bring,
a guest.
Carry your load. Let's go, man. Thanks for spending some time with us. I'm Butch.
I'm Matt. Go forth and hog some fun.